Hi guys, Kaze here. Welcome back. We're back with more Destiny's Princess with Hanbei Takenaka. We're back. We're back. Welcome back. I have no idea why I'm doing that. Alright, anyway, let's get going. Chapter 4, Relentless, Reckless, Forever. That's a mouthful. Several days after that passed in peace. After the large enemy had been forced back, the demons hadn't shown up around the castle. But that doesn't mean they're gone. No, sir, we're still sighted in the village, but simply don't come near the castle. What on earth are they doing? I wonder if they're not waiting for reinforcements. Reinforcements? There's even more of them? I can't say for sure, but it's a possibility. Eavesdropping on the war council from the hallway, I let out a sigh. It didn't look like the war with the demons would be over anytime soon. On one of those clear, fine days, Hanbei came to my room. After I let him in, on my guard, he spoke with his usual shady smile. Well, now he's shady, I see. How about going for a walk with me? You mean outside of the castle? Yes, fortunately, there's no signs of demons today. It must be somewhat stifling for you, staying cooped up inside the castle. And besides, aren't you curious about how things look outside? Well, that's true. I am curious. We can't go down to the town due to the demons prowling about, but we can view it from upon the hill. Hanbei was grinning like a cat. I wonder what he's got in mind. I felt like it could be dangerous taking this man at his word. Plus, I didn't exactly want to go anywhere with him, much less just the two of us alone. I'm a little busy. I don't want to. I just don't want to. No. You're mean. I don't like you. It's not really mean. He's just kind of cold. He's not mean. At least that's how I view him. I spoke the straightforward truth. I don't want to go. Huh? You make me nervous recently, especially after what you did the other day. Do you mean when I checked your wounds? Yes, former fiancé or not, you can't act like that around a woman. So I don't want to go with you. I see. Still smiling, Hanbei gave a quick bow. I apologize for the interruption. I'll make myself scarce. And with that, Hanbei swiftly left my room. Huh? I let my shoulders slump in relief. It was easier than I thought it would be. Clever as Hanbei was, I expected him to put up a harder fight. Well, whatever. It worked out. Just as I was reveling in my relief, a maid showed up. Princess, did you decline Sir Hanabei's invitation? How did you know? When he passed by just now, he grumbled at me and then left. He was very discouraged. He thinks you hate him. Oh, no, it's not that I hate him, exactly. The handmaid's face fell. I know that the two of you called off the wedding out of concern for all the subjects, but he did come all the way here to invite you. You should go. Don't decline for our sake. But that's not why I said no. I said no because... The maid took my hand, her eyes moist. We're also appreciative of your concern. But at a time like this, what I really want is for you, at least, to be happy. Watching her start to cry, I realized my own carelessness. He got me. I should have expected this, no less, from the tactician, anticipating this would happen. Princess, please, go out with him. Sir Hanbei is really looking forward to your company. Please, Princess. Oh, God. I was a sucker for the entreaties of the few surviving vessels. Jeez, what was wrong with me? I was supposed to be the princess. Why was I so weak? All right. Will you tell Hanbei that I'll be accepting his invitation? I had no other choice. Yeah, I'm a sucker. I'm a horrible sucker. That was a dirty tactic. What do you mean? As we walked around the floor, side by side, Hanbei couldn't suppress his grin. Oh yeah, I see you, Hanbei. I see what you got going on. You're mean. You got my handmaiden on your side. How adept handsome men are winning over the hearts of women. Well, are you so concerned about me that you let your jealousy show? I'm not jealous. Hanabe smiled with good humor. A ways behind us, two vassals were following. They were our bodyguards, since we had no idea when demons might appear. I wish those guys would stay a little closer. I'm probably trying to be polite. I'm not that bad with a sword. You don't need to worry about the demons. That's not what I was worried about. Oh, so what is it that concerns you? I don't make something up. I just feel uncomfortable, obviously. Alone, together with you? I have never no kind of verbal abuse I'm going to suffer. That's a little harsh. Since when have you come to dislike me this much? I don't care what you say. It's obvious that you're not really hurt. Don't be absurd. I'm quite discouraged. And Hobby's amused smile didn't match his words. By the way, I am stopped by the maidservant's room today. You'll stick your nose in anywhere, won't you? Sometimes the gossip of women includes the most astonishing and important things. Are you sure you weren't more lecherous motives involved? Anyway, did you find anything out? Yes, I hear one interesting thing. Apparently, they stopped working on your wedding dress a month ago. Oh boy, how soon did my fiancé go down? What could be the reason for that? A month ago would be before we talked about canceling, just about the time I was dying. They'd stopped sewing my wedding dress because my fiancé had died, but there was no way I could say so to Nabe. Fever. We were fighting. Yeah. It's all because of the fever. Let's go with the fever. It's all because of the fever. The fever? I stared at Nabe straight on. You had such a bad fever, you were on the brink of death. At one point, we truly thought you were going to die. So, they must have thought the wedding dress would be no longer needed. That makes them sound cold and heartless. Is that so? And so the reason you can't remember anything must be because of the fever, too. Maybe even the reason you've become so evil-hearted can be blamed on the fever. Aside from the part about my black-heartedness, that does sound plausible. Of course it does. It's the truth. I cast my eyes down to the ground, and as I did, I noticed white flowers growing on the roadside. Oh. Hey, I didn't know there were daisies out here, too. Me either. At the exact same time, both of us stopped our horses. Are we going to pick daisies now? Hanbei dismounted and stared intently at the flowers. I, too, got off my horse and stood next to him. I've been really interested in daisies ever since the other day. Yeah, these aren't rare flowers, but somehow I can't shake the feeling that they're somehow unique. Without thinking, a smile came to my face. Don't be silly. They were brought over from Europe. It was over 100 years ago. Now they grow all over the hills and countryside. I know, but still, I think there's something special about them. From your original self or previous self? I'm confused. I don't know. Maybe a little of both. On the day I cut down the daisies in the courtyard, I walked out there and saw the flowers. First, I thought I'd never seen them before. After a while, I remembered that they were the flowers I planted with you. It was like a memory of planting them had been wiped from my mind. Hanabe looked at me. And then, you've forgotten about planting them too. It was a long time ago. Maybe so. But however long ago, you're not the type to forget something important about your fiancé. Well, I'm simply not convinced, Princess. He didn't seem to be looking for an answer from me. Without any more questions, he simply stared at the flowers. From where I stood beside him, his face looked deep in self-reflection. He then squatted and started to dig up the daisies by the root. Hanabe? Since I cut down the daisies in the castle, let's bring these back and plant them. But if you put your target there, the war will be over someday. Until then, we can plant them somewhere else. Right in the middle of Hanabe's sentence. The vulgar laughter reached us as someone started sliding down the hillside. Who goes there? Hanabe circled around me. One by one, 3 more men slid down. Oh, those are men. I made them demons. I'm sorry. Demon men. They were all obviously bad men, and it quickly became obvious that they were bandits. Bandits in the land full of demons. Got it. The largest of all the men looked at us and cocked his head with curiosity. What have we here? I thought we had 2 women, but one of them is a man. Yeah, he's still a beauty. We can definitely get good money for him. And the woman's pretty, too. It's worth all the danger to come here, after all. Our bandits seem to be appraising our value. Our other 2 men. When I whispered under my breath, Hanabe answered, his eyes still straight ahead. It appears that we're the only ones that have come this far. Oh. So, then we were on our own. Hey, boss. This here's a good horse. It looks a little weak at first, but it must be a warrior horse. The mare looks quite healthy, too. Hey! My arm was suddenly grabbed, and the next instant a light flashed before my eyes. Ah! Splatters of blood flew through the air. Falling to the ground with a thud was the man's arm that had just been brazenly gripping mine. It had been clearly severed at the elbow. To think that there's such heathens roving about this close to the castle. I guess that's when so much unrest the castle's authority doesn't mean much. And I spoke coldly, bloody sword still in hand and his eyes bright as the winter moon. Ah, my arm! My arm! The man who had just lost his arm was rolling on the ground, wailing in pain. The other bands ignored his distress and closed in around us. Boss, this guy. Yeah, don't let your guard down. Any of you. Princess. Yes? If you're too scared, close your eyes. No sooner had Hanabe finished speaking than he lunged. He moved like a fish gliding through water. I stared, wide-eyed. I was afraid, but there was no time to close my eyes. Hanabe left our opponents no chance to attack. He swung to the right and then to the left, slashing at the men's arms and legs like a blaze of fire. Ah! Ah! What the... In an instant, the swords fell from the hands of our enemies on both sides. Only Verlier remained standing right in front. Hanabe thrust the tip of the sword at the man's throat. So what's next? Your minions are all down. So, do you still want more? The bandit boss broke out in a cold sweat and Hanabe's sword resting on his skin. In a few moments, our attendants will catch up. You know what will happen then, don't you? Things as they are now, we don't have provisions to support the likes of you. So what will it be? The crucifix or a rack? Hanabe's smile was frighteningly savage. The bandit leader's body immediately seemed to shrink. Hanabe suddenly relaxed a bit, ever so slightly withdrew his sword. If you leave as soon as I remove my sword, I'll let you go this time. The boss nodded frantically and called out to his men. Men, let's get out of here. But boss! Shut up and let's go. And take him with you too. He pointed at the bandit spraying blood as he slithered on the ground. And don't forget the arm. You might still be able to reattach it. The men hurried to pick up their comrade. After watching him disappear on the hill, Hanbei finally spoke. Are you okay? Yes, I'm fine. I was only stunned by the brilliance of Hanabe's skill. That's wonderful. Hanbei remained facing ahead. You're really amazing back there. I was a little surprised. Since you're a tactician, I assumed you wouldn't be good at fighting. Oh, that's kind of low. I mean, it's a compliment and not a compliment at the same time. I know the basics. But is it okay to let them get away like that? Who knows what they might do next? Hanbei? As I watched, Hanabe's thin body in front of me lurched. I rushed to catch him, but we both toppled to the ground. I ended up on my bottom and Hanabe cradled in my arms. You should have just left me. Oh, it's so cute. I like it. And this like we're just relaxing. I'm now a lap pillow, but whatever. And watch you as we fell over. You kind of surprised me. Are you going to really be mean even at the time like this? Never mind that. You don't look so good. Do those guys hurt you? Of course not. Hanami snorted a laugh. It just seems I slightly overtaxed myself. Like you said, I'm not used to fighting. Liar. Liar, I'm a daughter of a samurai too. I know some things about sword fighting. You try to defeat them with the least amount of effort possible. You move like a well-trained warrior. Hanabe gave me a wiry smile. You don't speak like you're talking to a childhood friend and fiancé. Huh? It's like you're talking to a complete stranger. I recall concentrating on school and neglecting the martial arts. You should know that. Damn, it was true. If I'd known him since childhood, I should have known how much he had trained. Really? My memory's been pretty bad lately, too. I try to mask my mistakes with a smile. More importantly, why don't you try not having to have the last word every single time? You don't have to explain anything to me. It's obvious, seeing how pale you are. You're absolutely right. Hanabe sighed. Are you sure you're not hurt anywhere? No. Sadly, I was born with a weak constitution. Nothing's wrong in particular. I am a little tired. Let me rest in your lap for a while. I hope you let me borrow your lap, since I kept this daisy safe for you. When I checked, I saw he indeed clutched the small young flowers to his chest. I guess I don't have a choice. Well, I guess I don't really have a choice, do I? I guess you can stay there for a while. Hanabe gave an unusually meek and pleasant smile. You never would have said that to me before. Don't you feel like you're being a little kinder to me than usual just now? It's only because you're always provoking me like I'm ever unkind. Anyway, goodness, can you believe those guys? Trying to sell us off too, and not even just me, but you too. Well, you know, I used to get mistaken for a woman all of a sudden, Hanabe had a puzzled look on his face and looked searchingly at me. What is it? That's not true. I've never been mistaken for a woman before. So why do I feel like... In truth, the man before me did have beautiful features. He could have been taken for a woman. But perhaps it hadn't been so for my fiancé. And rarely looked in the mirror. Mirrors are a luxury item of women. It was illogical to assume there were discrepancies between his face now and that of the false memory. Honestly, it seemed that there was no end to the things that he might find suspicious. Close your eyes and rest. Maybe I should be here soon. Apparently not having heard me, Hanabe fell into deep thought, his expression distraught. The next day, Hanabe was put on bed rest. I went to see him, but I wasn't allowed into the room. Sir Hanabe himself said it isn't that bad. He just doesn't want you to see him ill in bed and worry. Oh. He's been so well recently, but now that I think of it, he was rather ill before. You must be quite worried about him. My fiancé had died of illness. I hope that the man who had placed him had been burdened with the same sickness. The maid left, and once I was alone, I asked the dagger, would the people summoned by the switch ever get the same illness as the one they replaced? Well, well, how should a little demon know the answer to such a difficult question? The real question was he avoiding the question, or did he really not have the answer? The second evening the handmaiden bringing my dinner tray spoke to me. Princess, I just saw Sir Hanabe. You did? Is he already recovered? It appears so. He was in the barracks giving some sort of orders. I thought I didn't want to see him, but hearing he was ill, I had become concerned. My concern was only increased by the fact that he was the replacement summoned by my late fiancé. Without thinking, I stood up. Princess? I'm going to go check on him. But your dinner? You can leave it. I'll be back soon. All right, I'll come with you. No, it's okay, really. I'm just going to steam real quick and then I'll come right back. Yes, ma'am. The maid covered her mouth with her hand and giggled. I guess you two've made up. That's wonderful. I almost scratched at her, but stopped when I realized there was no point. There was some rough business around barracks. I'm sure they won't do anything improper to you, but just take care. The handmaid watched me go as I headed for the barracks. There were many vassals who had lost their homes. With the demons around, the castle town was also uninhabitable. Most of the vassals were now housed in the barracks where I had spotted Hanabe. Oh, Hanabe! I started to call out to him, but stopped. He looked to be having a serious talk with Masamune. I probably shouldn't interrupt. It wasn't as if I were in any hurry. I decided to wait until they finished the conversation. Whether because of the light or because he was still sick, Hanabe didn't look very well. Very good. Let's begin preparations. Sorry, but you know we don't have that much rations left. Sure you didn't hit your head. So, I didn't intend to letting this war drag on any longer than it has to. Alive dogs rather than a dead lion. There's no point in ending the war if there are no men left. For now, let us see to it that the injured recover as quickly as possible. All right. Masamune replied and rubbed his chin. I hope it's just my imagination, but you look a little pale. I'm simply on the mend. Well, that's good to hear. Maybe I can make you something nutritious to help. No need. Instead, do whatever you can for the injured soldiers. Hanabe smiled, but then suddenly looked grim. Have you noticed any differences in me compared to how I used to be before? Stop asking questions. My ears perked at that question, and Masamune seemed surprised. Why do you ask that all of a sudden? There isn't anything you find suspicious. Do you feel like I'm a completely different person than I used to be? That's when he rubbed his chin and looked at the ceiling. I can't say that I haven't noticed a time or two, but don't worry yourself about it. Thank you, Masamune. I've always thought that we were all merely visitors to this world, and as visitors, any strange or suspicious things are temporary. Everything will pass. There's no need to worry about small trivial details. How very deep. I should expect as much from you. With a grim smile, Hanabe closed his eyes. I do worry, though. So much I sometimes want to strangle my own neck. Hey now. Masamune grinned, but Hanabe remained serious. I used to be a totally different person. Whenever I remembered back, it drives me crazy. I used to devise terrible strategies, ones that I would never think to use now. Just thinking about it makes my blood boil. Hanabe, I've gotten caught up in emotion. I even pulled out soldiers out of concern for their lives. And what happens when you retreat when you should be fighting? The war is prolonged and death increases. I've always been a poor strategist. I can't devise a plan that will result in 0 deaths. And yet, I simply can't afford to make these kind of mistakes. And that makes me so... And I groaned as if he was spitting up blood. I had no idea he had been this tortured. I put my hand on the dagger and bit my lip. The false memories were hurting him. He felt the failures of my fiancé as if they were his own. That was why he was feeling all the more frustrated. I know you're there, princess. I gasped. When I wearily turned around, I was met with Hanabe's cold gaze. Eavesdropping is for commoners, but not befitting of someone of your station. I would think twice about doing it again if I were you. With that, Hanbei headed off down the corridor and disappeared from sight. Masamune rubbed his chin with a troubled expression. Don't worry about him, princess. You were just waiting for us to finish talking, right? I couldn't find a reply to Masamune's considerate words. At last, I understood. I knew the reason that Hanbei sometimes acted harshly towards me. He was angry and frustrated. He pressured me for answers was because he thought I knew something that could help. Because he felt pressured himself. What should I do? Still clutching the dagger, I felt at a total loss for what to do next. Oof. He's suspicious, and he's knowing more, and I don't know what we're gonna do. Oh god. God, his episodes are long. So I feel like everyone else's are really short now. His angsty moments. Okay, anyway, I'll see you guys in the next chapter. Remember, of course, instead of everybody in these chapters, if you haven't already, check out My Secret Pets. See if you're interested in that. And if you are, remember to vote in that video on who you want to see us play first. Because that's the one that's going to start up as soon as we finish up Destiny's Princess here. I think. Yeah, that should be relatively fast. Alright, I'll see you guys there. Bye, guys.